Hello, this is Tazalon. I am in Airfield East in my VK2801 for a Lighthouse tutorial on scout roles. In this film we're going to take a look at capping, and specifically capping to win. There's two different reasons why you want to cap. The first being capping to win the game, and the second is to distract the enemy. And this is going to be a three-part series of films. In the first we're going to look at capping to win. In the second we'll look at capping to distract. And in the third we're going to take a look at the politics of capping. Capping used to be considered an honorable way to win the game. And then crap statistics like WinX came about and all of a sudden it's bad, only noobs cap, which is totally false. But we're going to look at the politics behind that and why the people that always tell you to never cap are just flat out wrong. But in this one we're going to look at capping to win. I'm going to introduce the game, and then as we play I'm going to talk more about capping, because obviously I'm not going to cap to win until later in the game. We have 2 scouts apiece, 1 artillery apiece. Enemy team has only 1 medium, and they have 3 TDs and a bunch of heavies. Meanwhile we have 5 mediums, 2 TDs, and the rest are heavies. The enemy team is slow, and that becomes important later in the game. So here we go. What I do when I decide to cap or not to win is I look at which is faster. Can I produce a cap victory faster than our team can produce a kill victory? If the answer to that is yes, and the answer to the next question is, will trying to cap give me better odds of producing a victory than trying to kill? If I can answer yes to both of those, I'm going to cap. Doesn't matter how many people plead with me not to. If that's my best odds and the quickest way I have to produce a victory, that's what I'm going to do. Because that's why I play the game. To have fun and to produce wins. Now, capping is one of 3 ways to win random battles. It's a legitimate way to win a battle. In every random battle except assault defense, you can win by capping. The primary way people win, and the most numerous way people win, is by killing all 15 enemy tanks. That's fine and good. Generally, that's what you're going to do. As a matter of fact, if you find yourself capping to win more than you find yourself killing to win, then you're playing the game wrong, because you shouldn't be in that situation anywhere near as often as you are where it makes sense to kill to win. The third way is if you're on assault defense. If you deny the enemy team both killing all your tanks and completing their cap, then you win by default. Obviously that one's the least commonly used because you just don't have assault maps as often, especially assault defense. Now what I'm looking at right here as we're playing is we have people advanced. The 8.8's advanced 2/3 of the way up the map on the south, and he's only seen a tiger. So I'm going to cut across the edge here and run the south side of the map and go try to help him out. I'm thinking I'll be able to go right by the tiger and go up and find the arty, or come in behind the tiger and help take him out. So let's say the game progresses and you've decided to cap to win. Now there's a couple rules you want to use, and a couple of these rules people who cap break routinely, and it costs them the game. The first rule is hide from the enemy. If you're there to cap, then don't get shot. Don't poke out and shoot the enemy unless they're close to you and you have to in order to live. Okay? If you're going to cap to win, then try to cap. You've said, I'm not pursuing damage anymore unless I'm forced to. I am trying to get to 100% cap. Therefore, I am not going to expose myself and risk getting shot and reset. People break this rule all the time, and it costs them victories. So you don't shoot the enemy unless you have to. Once you commit to capping, commit to it. The second thing is, when you complete cap, you still haven't won. When cap reaches 100%, You then have to go 5 seconds in the game without a tank on either side dying. And every time a tank dies, no matter whether it's an enemy or an ally, that 5-second additional countdown resets. It's important to know this if you're in a cap race. If you're in a cap race and you're 8 seconds ahead of the enemy, during 4 seconds into the 5-second cooldown at the end, you or somebody on your team kills an enemy tank, that 5-second timer starts again, and guess what? During those 5 seconds the enemy completes your cap and you've successfully turned a victory into a draw. So once you or your team is within 5 seconds of completing cap, actually once you've completed cap, do not shoot any enemy tanks unless you know it will not produce a kill, especially if you're in a cap race, because what you're doing is prolonging the time the enemy has left to try to pull out a win or a draw. Both of those rules are broken constantly, fight after fight. And there are occasions where they end up either costing you a win and turning it into a draw, or they take a win and turn it all the way into a loss. Now we've been making decent headway here. It's been a tight match throughout. We've been up 2, they've been up 1. Got the 2 TDs back to the north that I have to be careful of when I go that way. I'm going to try to hit this guy. Didn't get aimed in all the way. Shot behind him. So our... who is that? That's our Cheeto is 1-on-2. Soon against 2 TDs, so I'm going to try to sprint over here and help him out. I have considered capping already, but it's just not worth it. I don't know where the M6 is, and these TDs are fast enough to get back to me if I try to cap right now. So it doesn't help me to cap right now. Okay, now we've turned the tables on this guy and we're 2-on-1 on him. Just gotta make sure he's not pointed at me and I can take a shot. And there he goes, dead TD coming up. Now what I'm looking at is I have an almost dead 8.8. I have a half dead Chiri. And excuse me, I have a half dead Cheeto and I have an almost dead Chiri. So I was going to come up there and try to flank him till that last shot on the Chinese medium, and now it's like, nope, I'm going to come up here and cap because the M6 is way down there taking on our artillery. The M6 is going to win that fight. The KV-5 is almost full health, and we have 3 beat up tanks trying to take him on. I can go and hurt a KV-5, but I'm not going to hurt him quickly. By the time I get there, one of our tanks is probably going to be dead. I can come over here and cap, and I know I'm going to win. There's no way the M6 is getting back to me, and the odds of the KV-5 getting close to me are very, very small. Because he has to, if he tries to go for me, he has 3 tanks that are going to take him out. By the time he kills all 3 of them and comes toward me, it's going to be too late. So I am choosing to take the way that guarantees a victory for our team. What I'm worried about is the M6 isn't coming. He wasn't going to come back to cap. He was going to come back this way and get behind the people taking on the KV-5, and we'd be caught in a crossfire that would just be, it would totally twist the match the other way. So I didn't give him a chance to do that. I go to cap, and now I'm going to get in this little alleyway, and there's no way the KV-5 can get back and reset me. It's just not going to happen. So I take the sure win over the I'm going to be brave and hope I can pull it out win. And there we go. Now, I'm not going to show it because the film will end. But from this point, I need 5 additional seconds. Okay? After it says base captured by allies, I need 5 additional seconds with no tank dying. As soon as we do that, victory is declared. If this would have been a cap race and the enemy team completes their cap before victory is declared, either because they were within 5 seconds of completing it before me, or we kill a tank and it gives them an additional 5 seconds, then we'd be a draw. So, to review, you cap when it produces a victory faster than killing everybody, and it has a higher percentage chance of being successful than trying to kill everybody. And then, once you make the decision to cap, you don't poke your nose out to try to get additional damage. When you commit to cap, commit to cap. You're saying, I'm no longer going to try to produce damage unless I'm forced to, or I have a shot where there's no way they can shoot back at me. And, especially once the cap reaches 100%, do not fire enemy tanks unless you know you will not produce a kill by doing it, if you're in a cap race. Or if maybe it's only you left, don't risk dying. Just take the win, get your damage next fight. Really, it won't affect your stats that much. So in the next film, we're going to look at capping to distract the enemy, which is a totally complete different set of circumstances, and you approach being on cap totally different as well, because your goal is completely the opposite. You want tanks to come back to you when you cap to distract. So until the next film in this series, this is Tazlon in Airfield East, getting an invader and securing a victory for our team. Happy hunting.